Hey guys, it's week 5 of the experiment right now, and so far I've got some good news and bad news. Let's start with the simple good news. The good news is the shrimps in both tanks are doing fine. 10 shrimps here, and I believe it's a bit hard to count here. I think 5 shrimps here, so total of 15. They're all alive, everything's fine. The bad news is this week I had to do a move on this tank. In fact, I had to move the entire cabinet because I had a new piano arrive in the house and I had to make room. So I had to move everything, and it was not possible for me, or rather I didn't dare to shift this with a full load of water. So I took out maybe about 50% of the water, and then I lifted the aquarium, put it somewhere else, shifted the entire cabinet, cleaned out the whole thing, dust everything, put it back in its new slightly shifted position. But in the process of moving, of course, I had to drain the tank. I had to carry this thing, which things were wobbling around. The sand was starting to float around and things like that. And the bad news is there are no more eggs on the mothers. Basically, the buried shrimps have just discarded all the eggs because of that move, which is sad. I was hoping some of these would become my next generation of babies in this tank. Now all I can do is hope that they will bury again and have more babies. Yeah, so the good news is they're all alive, everything's doing fine. The bad news is I lost all the eggs. The other thing that I have observed happening is there have been a lot of an increase of I forgot what they are called, the tiny little crustaceans, something pods in the tank, which some people say is a sign of good water quality. I have no idea how this will affect the oxygen, carbon dioxide overall cycle in the tank. I have no idea. I hope it doesn't affect things too much. Another interesting thing that has happened is I found two, I believe, mosquito larvae in the tank. And in my naiveness, in my ignorance, I thought that brackish water, no way the mosquito larvae are going to grow, but I am wrong. And I went and did a quick search online, and yes, mosquito larvae have adapted. Some of them can actually lay eggs in brackish water, and the larvae can survive. So I used my net and I took them out, and I hope I don't get a lot of this, right? But otherwise, the shrimps are doing fine, right? What I'm observing now, which is the initial one of the major parts of this experiment, is to see if the Cladophora moss, or rather the algae, actually can survive in brackish water. So far, for most of the algae here, everything looks fine except for that patch. I'll bring you in closer. Except for, can you see that patch that's a little bit brown, light brown, and darker brown? So these two patches somehow are not doing well. And when I was asked about it, honestly, this moss, actually I keep calling them moss, this Califora, this Marrimo algae balls, these two guys, when they arrived, they were already browning. And I immediately put them into this tank in the past, and it just didn't get better because I didn't try anything like putting them in the fridge or putting them in, I don't know, carbonated water or stuff like that. So anyway, it looks like it's not getting better but getting worse. I'll just continue observing it, and if I need to, I'll just take it out because I have more moss balls in this tank that I can peel open and transfer over here when the time comes. So yeah, shrimps have been here for over a week. They seem to be doing fine. They are now just lazing around, but at night they go around, and I think at the end of this video I will attach a clip of me feeding them and active and happy. And some of them are quite satisfyingly red. When I moved the tank, they all turned pale white when they dropped the eggs, and they all just literally became white. And within a span of 2 days, they are now back to, those who are red, especially the females, they are back to being red, which is just a good thing. I'm happy. Now on this tank, let me just bring it in for a closer look as well. The walls of the tank are full of algae. I don't know if they're diatoms or something, but it's brownish in color. It looks rather unsightly, but I guess it's expected. I'm sort of expecting it to happen for this tank. The shrimps were supposed to eat it, but now that there are only 5 here, I don't think they can keep up with the growth of the algae. Otherwise, water parameters for both of these tanks are good. There's no ammonia, no nitrites, no nitrates. I think the tanks have been cycled pretty well. I'm satisfied with that. Or it could be my testing kit, I don't know, but I can't detect any nitrites or nitrates or ammonia in both of the tanks. Yeah, so the experiment continues. Right now we will see how this tank will develop. I strongly believe sooner or later it will be overrun with algae, just like this. It's going to look pretty unsightly, so I've got to think of a strategy on how to keep this clean without disrupting the shrimps too much or costing future buried shrimp to drop their eggs. Yeah, so after this clip I will attach some clips of the shrimps having their fun, and as well as the early buried shrimp videos, which are now all gone, unfortunately. See you guys next week. Bye.